The galaxy had grown quiet. Too quiet. For centuries, alien civilizations had watched Earth, some with curiosity, most with disinterest. It was small, unstable, and messy, a planet filled with unpredictable creatures called humans. Most species assumed Earth would destroy itself long before reaching the stars. They were wrong. In the heart of the Milky Way, the Galactic Council gathered. Representatives from dozens of star systems sat in circular chambers that floated in zero gravity. Holoscreens displayed Earth in real time. The humans on the screens seemed ordinary. Cities sprawling across continents, clouds of pollution, and fires raging in forests. Yet something about Earth made the Council uneasy. It wasn't their technology, which was primitive compared to most galactic species. It wasn't their fleets because Earth had none visible in space. It was something else, an undercurrent, subtle yet undeniable. Earth is collapsing, the Trelcon delegate said, his voice like grinding metal. Their planet burns, their cities crumble, and their governments cannot unite. They cannot survive the next 50 years. I see no reason to intervene. The Zithari representative, a being of shifting light and shadow, replied calmly. Do we intervene because they ask for help, or because we fear they may rise? Either way, they are not ready. Contact would be pointless, council members murmured in agreement. Most viewed humans as curious but unimportant. A species that struggled with itself was hardly a threat to the stars. Far below on Earth, the humans did not know that the galaxy was watching. They only knew they had a choice. In a hidden facility beneath the Arctic ice, a group of humans worked in silence. Massive generators hummed. Screens flickered with streams of data, and the air smelled of ozone and metal. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders moved like clockwork. Among them was Alara Niven, a young physicist with sharp eyes and sharper instincts. She stood before a bank of monitors studying the planet and the stars beyond. We're ready? Asked General Vance, a man whose face was worn but resolute. Alara nodded. All systems are green. The broadcast signal is encoded and ready. Once we launch, it will reach every corner of the galaxy within hours. Do you think they'll listen? Vance asked, his voice low. He had lived his life preparing for wars that never came. Alara paused. She did not answer immediately. She knew that alien civilizations often underestimated humans, just as the council above assumed. But that was exactly why their plan could work. They will hear us, she said finally. And when they do, they will see that we are not what they expected. The plan had taken decades. The humans had been preparing for a first contact scenario, but not one of diplomacy. This was a warning, a demonstration, a test of the galaxy's assumptions. The broadcast would carry more than words. It contained proof of human resilience, ingenuity, and hidden technology. On the surface, humanity seemed fragile, but beneath it, they had grown stronger than anyone imagined. Secret shipyards had constructed fleets capable of defending Earth. Advanced AI systems monitored the solar system, ready to act in moments. Defense grids could neutralize attacks before alien fleets even reached orbit. It was a quiet power, hidden in plain sight. Alara adjusted the controls. The signal was vast, encompassing entire frequencies that alien species use for communication. It would appear as a single message, yet embedded within were patterns, energy signatures, and schematics that could only be understood by those who looked carefully. Begin the launch, General Vance ordered. Alara pressed a key. The facility shuddered as energy surged through the massive transmitter. Waves of information rippled into space, racing toward the stars at light speed. Above Earth, satellites detected the surge and relayed it to orbiting stations. On distant planets, alien systems intercepted the signal. It was unlike anything they had seen before. Ordinary messages carried simple data, but this was different. You've doomed yourselves, the broadcast began. The voice was human, clear and calm, but firm. Your species has watched us with disdain. You have mocked our weakness. But we will no longer hide. You have misjudged us, and soon you will see the cost of underestimating humanity. In council chambers across the galaxy, alien delegates froze. The words were simple, yet their tone carried something unexpected. Not fear, but a warning. This cannot be, muttered a Cravian delegate. His skin rippled in shock. Earth has no fleets. They cannot project power beyond their system. Why would they speak this way? The broadcast continued. Hidden within were patterns, symbols, and energy flows. Alien scientists struggled to interpret them. It was not just a message, it was proof. Proof of advanced engineering, proof of hidden fleets, proof that humans had been preparing silently for centuries. Back in the Arctic facility, Ilara watched the readings. The aliens were beginning to notice. She allowed herself a small smile. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. In the council chambers, the debate turned frantic. "We must act," shouted one delegate. "If they have hidden fleets, they could threaten entire systems." "Act carefully," another replied. "They may not be bluffing. Our assumptions about Earth have always been incomplete." Meanwhile, human scientists monitored the broadcast's progress. It traveled faster than expected, bouncing off stars and weaving through gravitational fields. It would be impossible for any alien civilization to ignore. In one remote system, a young alien engineer named Leora decoded a section of the signal. Her eyes widened as she realized the scale of human planning. A map of energy nodes, cloaked ships, and automated defense systems spread across the solar system. It was subtle, almost invisible to casual observers, but undeniable to anyone who looked closely. "They are ready," she whispered, barely able to believe it. Back on Earth, the human leaders prepared for the consequences. They knew the broadcast would provoke fear, maybe even aggression, but they had no choice. The galaxy needed to see that humans were not to be underestimated. Ilara turned to General Vance. "They will come. Some will retreat, some will test us, and some may attack. We must be ready for all outcomes," Vance nodded. "Then we show them what humanity can do." Outside the facility, the Arctic wind howled. Snow swirled around massive metal towers carrying energy into the night sky. The world seemed quiet, fragile, and ordinary, but underneath humanity waited. They were not helpless. They were not naive. They were preparing to take their place among the stars, whether the galaxy accepted it or not. As the broadcast reached more systems, alien species debated in panic and awe. How could a world so small and seemingly weak hide such power? How could creatures so young in the cosmic timeline have prepared so thoroughly? The humans below did not celebrate. They knew this was only the beginning. First contact had been made in the most unusual way, not by diplomacy, not by exploration, but by a warning. A challenge. And somewhere deep in the facility, Ilara thought of the message's final words, the ones that would echo in the minds of every alien species that heard it. "You've doomed yourselves if you think we are weak. Watch carefully. Humanity has survived every test. Now we show the galaxy our strength." The Arctic facility trembled lightly as systems hummed, a quiet heartbeat of hidden power. Outside, Earth seemed ordinary, fragile, almost too small to matter. But within its defenses, humanity waited, and the galaxy would soon learn the cost of underestimating them. The council chambers were in chaos. Alien fleets discussed responses. Some wanted to destroy Earth immediately, fearing the unknown. Others wanted to observe further, terrified that a full attack could awaken a hidden force they could not control. On Earth, Ilara closed her eyes briefly. She thought of her ancestors, of the countless humans who had faced adversity and survived. She thought of every challenge humanity had overcome: famine, disease, war, disaster. Humans had endured, adapted, and thrived. The broadcast continued its silent journey through the stars. And somewhere across light years of empty space, the first whispers of fear spread among the stars. Humans had sent a warning. They had sent proof. They had sent a message that the galaxy would never forget, and they were just getting started. Across the galaxy, the effects of the broadcast were immediate and dramatic. Alien systems that had always regarded Earth as insignificant now buzzed with confusion and alarm. The message had reached thousands of planets, and every civilization reacted differently, some with curiosity, some with fear, and some with outright panic. On the Trelkan homeworld, the council chambers were chaotic. Hollow screens flashed the words repeatedly, "You've doomed yourselves, but we will show you the cost of underestimating humanity." Delegates slammed their claws and tentacles against the desks, struggling to understand what they were seeing. "This is impossible," one delegate shouted, its voice vibrating like a drum. "Earth has no visible fleets. They have no interstellar weapons. How can they speak with such confidence?" A senior scientist spoke, his voice trembling. "The message is more than words. Look at the energy signatures embedded in it. There are patterns, advanced patterns. These are not random. Someone has spent decades preparing this. In another system, the Zithari examined the signal differently. They were experts in subtlety, able to detect even the faintest manipulation of energy and information. Leora, a young Zithari engineer, had been the first to notice the embedded schematics hidden in the broadcast. "They are not bluffing," she whispered to her mentor. "Look at this. They have hidden entire designs for fleets, defense stations, and automated systems. If we tried to attack them, we would not survive." Her mentor's form flickered nervously. "You are saying that this tiny planet, these humans, could defend against our combined forces?" Leora nodded. "Not only defend, they could strike back, and they have been preparing silently for centuries." Meanwhile, across countless star systems, alien intelligence networks struggled to decode the hidden information. Every time they thought they understood it, they discovered another layer of complexity. Humans had not only sent a warning, they had sent evidence of their ingenuity, resilience, and hidden power. Back on Earth, the team in the Arctic facility monitored the reactions. Ilara stood over a console, watching streams of decoded data from alien systems. "They are panicking," she said softly. General Vance nodded, his face grave but determined. "Good. They need to understand that humans are not weak. But this is just the beginning. Some of them will act out of fear. We must be ready." In one isolated alien outpost, a Kravian fleet commander named Talrek studied the broadcast. He had commanded dozens of fleets in his life, conquering worlds and subjugating civilizations, and yet he felt unease unlike any he had known. "They are preparing something," Talrek muttered. His claws tapped against the console nervously. "Every calculation we make suggests that Earth should be defenseless. Yet this is different. They are ready for us even before we arrive." Talrek ordered immediate reconnaissance. Drones, stealth probes, and long-range scanners swept toward the solar system. But every probe that came close vanished without a trace. Some were detected and destroyed by automated systems. Others were redirected in ways that made it appear as though they had never existed. On Earth, the humans watched every move. Their preparation had been meticulous. Every probe, every signal, every possible alien approach had been anticipated. And humans had adapted in ways that no alien species could predict. Ilara studied a display of the intercepted probes. "They don't understand our strategy," she said. "They think they are exploring, but every step they take plays into our plan." Vance's eyes narrowed. "We need to ensure that none of their fleets reach Earth without realizing the consequences. If they act too aggressively, we will respond. But they must see that humans are capable of thinking beyond brute force." Far away, some alien species reacted differently. Instead of panic, curiosity grew. The broadcast challenged their assumptions about the universe and their place in it. Few began to wonder, if humans were capable of such preparation, what other abilities might they have? In the Zithari homeworld, Leora faced a council filled with skepticism. "We must observe them," she argued. "They are not what they seem. We cannot assume weakness anymore. They may be small, but their intelligence, strategy, and innovation are extraordinary." One elder shook his translucent form. "Extraordinary? We have faced many civilizations. They are primitive. This is just deception, a trick." Leora shook her head. "It is not a trick. We are underestimating them. That is our danger. On Earth, humans had more than just hidden technology. They had spent decades studying alien patterns, predicting responses, and preparing strategies for countless scenarios. It was a level of foresight unmatched anywhere in the known galaxy. The Arctic facility was alive with activity. Scientists monitored alien signals, technicians adjusted defense systems, and military strategists prepared for possible attacks. Every simulation showed one common result. Humans had the advantage if they remained patient and disciplined. Ilara moved through the control room, checking each system. "They will try something," she said, "but nothing can surprise us. They don't understand the depth of human planning. That is our strength." Hours later, the first alien reconnaissance fleet entered the outskirts of the solar system. Massive ships drifted silently through space, their energy signatures visible only to sensitive scanners. The aliens believed they were testing humanity's capabilities. Instead, they encountered empty space. Automated defense drones moved like shadows, detecting every probe and intercepting communications. The humans had not fired a single shot, yet the aliens felt threatened. In the council chambers, the panic grew. "This cannot be happening," shouted one delegate. "They have no fleets here. How are they controlling the probes? Leora spoke calmly. They are not controlling. They are predicting. They have studied us for decades. Every approach, every tactic. They have accounted for it. And yet we do not see them. That is their advantage. Talrek, the Kravian commander, gritted his teeth. This is unacceptable. Send more ships. We will overwhelm them with numbers. Leora shook her head. That is exactly what they expect. If you act without caution, you will fall into traps we cannot yet understand. Back on Earth, Ilara and her team watched the alien fleets carefully. They had anticipated the reactions perfectly. Every move the aliens made, every probe they sent was part of the plan. Humans had studied alien psychology, communication methods, and even military thinking. They were ready for the first contact, not as diplomats, but as a species unwilling to be underestimated. General Vance addressed the team. Remember, our goal is not war. Our goal is understanding. But if they force conflict, we will act. Every system, every fleet, every defense mechanism, it is all ready, and humanity will survive. The first real contact was subtle. A Kravian drone drifted into the solar system, its sensors scanning the inner planets. Humans watched quietly. The drone's systems failed suddenly, one by one, without a trace of external attack. It had been neutralized by automated measures, simple in design but perfectly executed. Talrek stared at the reports. This is impossible, he said. Every prediction we made failed. They anticipated our technology, our logic, everything. Across the galaxy, similar reports flooded every alien communication network. Fear began to spread, mingled with curiosity. For the first time, alien civilizations began to respect humans, not because of their size or strength, but because of their ingenuity, foresight, and resilience. Ilara allowed herself a quiet moment of relief. Humanity had sent a warning, and it was working. Not all would understand it immediately, but the seeds of awareness were planted. The galaxy would think twice before assuming humans were weak, but humans also knew that this was only the beginning. Panic could lead to rash actions. Some species might attempt preemptive strikes thinking they could eliminate the threat before it grew. That was why preparation was critical. Every system was monitored, every fleet ready, every defense calibrated. Humans had planned not just for survival, but for victory if needed. In her private chamber, Ilara recorded a message for future leaders. They see us differently now, she said softly. Some with fear, some with curiosity. But all have underestimated us until now. We must remain vigilant, disciplined, and united. Humanity's place among the stars begins tonight. And the galaxy will remember this moment. The broadcast continued to travel, reaching systems previously unknown to Earth. Aliens who had never noticed the small blue planet were now aware of its hidden complexity. They could see, even if only faintly, the careful planning, the hidden power, and the intelligence of a species they had ignored for centuries. On Earth, snow swirled outside the Arctic facility. The wind howled against metal walls, but inside humanity's heartbeat was steady, confident, and alive. They had sent their message. They had shown the galaxy that they were not helpless. And somewhere in the darkness of space, alien civilizations began to whisper, Earth is not what we thought. Humanity, we have underestimated them. For the first time, the galaxy feared, not for the humans' weakness, but for their potential. The first alien fleet reached the outer edges of the solar system. Massive ships glided silently through space, their engines glowing faintly, casting long shadows across the asteroid belts. The commanders of these fleets were confident. They had numbers, weapons, and centuries of experience conquering planets. They believed Earth was weak. They were wrong. On Earth, the Arctic facility buzzed with activity. Monitors displayed every incoming signal. Every movement of the alien fleet was predicted almost in real time. Humans had spent decades studying alien strategies, communication methods, and even behavioral patterns under pressure. Every possible scenario had been simulated thousands of times. Ilara Niven stood at the central console, her hands hovering over the touch panels. They're coming in predictable patterns, she said. They don't realize they're following exactly what we expected. General Vance nodded. Then let's see how well they handle surprises. The humans had not launched any ships yet. Instead, they relied on stealth technology and clever strategy. Cloaked vessels waited in hidden orbits, automated defense grids lay dormant, and AI-controlled drones lurked behind asteroid clusters. Every element of the solar system had been carefully prepared to protect the planet while revealing as little as possible. The alien fleet commander, Talrek of the Cravians, monitored the outer solar system from his flagship. "All systems report normal," he said to his officers. "Earth is still isolated. No fleets detected. No threat visible. Prepare for initial reconnaissance." The aliens dispatched small scout ships intending to measure Earth's defenses. These scouts were fast and equipped with sophisticated sensors. But they never returned. One by one the drones failed, their signals cut off abruptly. Talrek growled, his claws tapping against the command console. "Impossible. What is stopping them?" Unknown to the aliens, the humans had anticipated every approach. Each scout drone entered zones that were carefully mapped by automated systems. Tiny energy pulses, barely detectable, disrupted alien technology. Some drones were silently captured, analyzed, and released far away from the solar system. Others were gently disabled to prevent escalation. In the control room, Ilara observed the progress. "They think they are exploring. They have no idea we are watching them, and they will not see the full fleet until it's necessary." Vance leaned over her shoulder. "Patience is key. Let them reveal their intentions first. Then we act." The aliens, frustrated by the sudden loss of their reconnaissance, attempted direct observation. Larger ships moved closer to Earth, scanning the planet, trying to detect human activity. But the humans had hidden their technologies well. Orbital arrays appeared as simple satellites. Shipyards were concealed beneath ice and mountains. Nothing seemed out of place. Yet the humans were not passive. Using AI-controlled drones, they moved small obstacles and signals to mislead the alien sensors. To the aliens, it appeared as though the solar system was lightly defended. But in truth, every asteroid, every moon, and every orbital path had been calculated for strategic advantage. In one alien warship, a young officer reported, "Commander, all probes failed. The planet shows no signs of defenses, yet we cannot understand why our systems are disrupted." Talrek's eyes narrowed. "They are hiding something, and they are clever enough to make us think it does not exist. Proceed with caution. Do not underestimate them." Back on Earth, Ilara monitored the alien fleet's movements. She recognized their strategy. They were testing humanity, probing for weaknesses. But humans had anticipated it all. "Phase 1 is working perfectly," she said. "They are moving exactly as we expected." Then the humans initiated a small countermeasure, not an attack but a demonstration. Cloaked ships moved into calculated positions, appearing suddenly in the alien ship's sensors as faint signatures. Automated systems created false energy readings, making it appear that hidden fleets were larger than reality. Talrek observed the anomaly. "What is this? They have more ships than detected. Increase sensor scans immediately." The humans did not respond. They watched silently. The alien fleets were now nervous, unsure whether this was a bluff or reality. That uncertainty was already a victory. Meanwhile, humans in the Arctic facility prepared for the next stage, showing their capability without provoking a full-scale war. Small, precision-controlled drones moved past alien defenses, disabling non-critical systems on alien ships. Sensors glitched, engines misfired briefly, and communication systems experienced minor disruptions. The aliens panicked. "They are attacking us!" one officer shouted. "Our calculations show they are weak. How can they control our ships?" "They are not attacking," Talrek realized, though reluctantly. "They are demonstrating. They want us to see, to learn. But what are they trying to teach us?" Ilara smiled slightly. "They think they are the hunters," she said. "But we are the teachers today." For the first time, alien fleets hesitated. They had never encountered a species that could manipulate their movements so thoroughly without firing a single destructive shot. Humans were turning the tables, showing intelligence and strategy as weapons more powerful than conventional firepower. Some aliens began to retreat slightly, wary of the unknown. Others tried to test their strength, sending groups of fighters closer. But every move had been anticipated. Humans had created pathways and traps that ensured alien ships would be observed without being harmed, allowing humans to assess the fleet's full capabilities. Vance addressed the command room. "Observe, learn, and stay hidden. We do not need to destroy them yet. Let them understand that brute force is not the only measure of strength." Ilara nodded. "They will remember this. The galaxy will remember this. We are showing them that humans are not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, Talrek sent urgent messages to the Galactic Council. Earth is more prepared than any records suggest. We face a species with hidden fleets, advanced automated systems, and predictive strategies. Proceed with extreme caution. The council chambers were in chaos. Delegates argued over what to do. Some wanted to strike immediately, fearing the humans' unknown capabilities. Others wanted observation, realizing that an attack could provoke a response they could not contain. On Earth, the humans prepared for the next phase. They had proven their initial point. Humans were not helpless. But now it was time to demonstrate resilience under pressure. More cloaked ships moved into the solar system, reinforcing the hidden fleet. Automated defenses were calibrated for maximum effectiveness. Every asteroid and moon was now part of a living strategy grid. Alara studied the alien fleet's patterns. They are trying to predict us, but they cannot. Every calculation fails because they cannot imagine human creativity, adaptability, and patience. Vance's face hardened. Let them come closer. They will learn soon enough that strength is more than size or firepower. Hours passed. The alien fleet remained in orbit, unsure how to proceed. They had not attacked, but they had not retreated. Their commanders whispered among themselves, realizing that the humans were capable of far more than any records had suggested. Alara turned to her team. Remember, our goal is not destruction. Our goal is respect. Let them see what humanity is capable of: intelligence, strategy, and courage. Let them learn that weakness is only an illusion. Outside the Arctic facility, the wind howled, but inside, humanity's heartbeat was steady. The humans had sent their message, and now the first encounter was underway. In the darkness of space, alien fleets watched the small blue planet. And for the first time across thousands of light years, the galaxy began to whisper a new truth. Humans were not weak. Humans were not helpless. Humans were clever, patient, and capable of surviving anything the universe could throw at them. And Earth was ready to show the galaxy exactly why. The alien fleets had been observing Earth for days. Every maneuver, every probe, every attempt to measure humanity's strength ended in confusion or failure. Talrek, the Cravian commander, felt a deep unease. His fleet was powerful, yet the humans had not engaged directly. They seemed small, ordinary, and vulnerable. Yet every action the aliens took was anticipated, countered, or diverted without a single human ship revealing itself. They are everywhere and nowhere, Talrek said quietly to his officers. We cannot predict them. Our fleets cannot approach without being exposed to unknown forces. In the Arctic facility, General Vance and Alara monitored the aliens' hesitation. They think we are bluffing, Vance said. They believe we are hiding something, but they do not know the scale. Alara's eyes shone with determination. It is time. They need to understand that humanity is not weak. They need to see our full strength. Hidden deep within Earth's orbit were massive cloaked defense stations, each the size of a small moon. They had been built in secret over decades, powered by energy systems that far exceeded any alien expectations. Cloaked fleets of human warships waited silently, fully prepared for engagement. Automated drones patrolled invisible pathways, ready to respond instantly to threats. Talrek's fleet advanced cautiously. Alien commanders hoped to intimidate the humans into surrender. They did not expect resistance, not real resistance, and certainly not the level of strategy and technology waiting for them. Then, without warning, systems across the alien fleet began to fail. Engines faltered, shields flickered, and communication lines glitched. It was not a direct attack, but a demonstration of control, a show of capability. They are interfering with our systems, an officer shouted. How can a primitive species do this? They are not primitive, Talrek admitted with a growl. They are advanced in ways we cannot yet understand. Back on Earth, the humans watched every reaction. Alara adjusted the control panels, sending subtle signals to demonstrate power without unnecessary aggression. Every glitch in the alien systems was intentional, every disruption measured. Humanity wanted the aliens to understand their abilities, to respect them, and to realize that brute force alone would never succeed against cleverness, patience, and ingenuity. Then the hidden fleets revealed themselves. Cloaked ships moved into position, their outlines briefly visible in alien sensors. Drones created energy patterns that suggested a fleet larger than reality, a psychological tactic designed to overwhelm the aliens' perception. The humans were showing force, but in a controlled, strategic way. Talrex stared at the readings. They have more ships than we thought. How many? Impossible. They are outnumbering us without even firing. They are not just numbers, Ilara said. They are strategy, coordination, and adaptability. That is humanity's advantage. The alien fleets hesitated. Some considered retreat. Others pressed forward, hoping to test the humans' capabilities. But every move was anticipated. Automated systems guided drones to intercept. Energy grids manipulated alien sensors, and subtle diversions ensured the aliens could never understand the full scope of human power. Suddenly, human ships struck, not with weapons but with precision maneuvers designed to disable non-critical systems. Alien engines misfired, communication lines glitched, and shield calibrations faltered. The humans had not fired a single destructive shot, yet the aliens felt the sting of unexpected control. "This cannot be happening," shouted a Kravian officer. "We have advanced technology. How can they—" "They think they are in control," Talrex said quietly. "But the humans are orchestrating everything. They are not reacting. They are predicting." In the Arctic facility, Ilara and Vance watched the results unfold. "This is the turning point," Vance said. "They will realize soon that attacking Earth directly is not an option. They are learning that humans are cleverer than anyone expected." Ilara nodded. "But we must be ready for escalation. Some species will not retreat. Some will test us anyway, and they did. A faction of alien ships attempted a direct assault, believing their firepower would overwhelm Earth's defenses. Humans responded calmly. Hidden fleets moved into position. Energy grids targeted non-lethal points to disable engines and weapons temporarily, and automated drones intercepted projectiles with perfect precision. The assault was stopped before it could reach the inner solar system. Talrex's voice trembled slightly. "They are stopping us without killing us. Without attacking. How?" "They are teaching you," Ilara said quietly. "They are showing you that survival and strength are not measured by destruction alone." The alien fleets began to pull back slightly, reassessing their approach. Fear and respect had begun to replace arrogance. Every alien commander understood that humans were unlike any species they had faced before. The galaxy had underestimated Earth for centuries, and the truth was becoming painfully clear. Back on Earth, the broadcast continued to ripple through the galaxy. Humans did not need to threaten directly. The message was already spreading. Alien species debated, studied, and whispered about the hidden capabilities of this small blue planet. For the first time, humans were no longer dismissed. They were recognized as clever, resourceful, and prepared. Ilara looked at the monitors, watching alien reactions. "This is more than a demonstration of power," she said. "It is a lesson. The galaxy will never assume humans are weak again." Vance's face hardened. "We are showing restraint. We do not want unnecessary conflict, but we will act if provoked, and every species that approaches Earth will know we are not helpless." Some alien observers began to rethink their assumptions. The Zithari, the Trelkan, and even Kravian commanders understood that humans combined strategy, patience, and technology in a way no other species had. Humans did not rely solely on brute strength. They used intelligence as a weapon, subtlety as armor, and preparation as a shield. As night fell across the Arctic facility, Ilara reflected on the journey that had brought humanity here. For centuries, humans had been underestimated, dismissed, and ignored. They had survived plagues, wars, and disasters. They had learned to adapt, to innovate, and to think creatively under pressure. Now they were showing the galaxy that survival was not enough. They were capable of mastery, of strategy, and of shaping events on a cosmic scale. General Vance turned to the team. "Prepare for the next phase," he said. "The aliens have seen part of our strength. Some will retreat, some will test further, but humanity will not be caught off guard. We are ready for anything," Ilara nodded, "and we will respond wisely. We do not seek war. We seek understanding. But the galaxy must learn that humans cannot be ignored." Outside, Earth seemed peaceful, fragile, and ordinary. Snow swirled across the Arctic, oceans reflected the sun, and cities glowed softly in the evening light. Yet beneath the surface, humanity was alive with quiet strength, hidden fleets, and carefully prepared strategies. The planet that had once been dismissed as weak now stood as a symbol of cleverness, resilience, and hidden power. In the darkness of space, alien fleets continued to hover near the solar system. They had not attacked fully, yet they had learned a crucial lesson. Humanity was capable, prepared, and unpredictable. Every assumption about Earth had been challenged, every expectation of weakness shattered. Talrek gritted his teeth. We will have to reconsider everything we thought we knew about this species. They are remarkable. Dangerous, yes, but remarkable. Alara watched the alien fleet slowly retreat, her mind already considering the next steps. This is not the end, she said softly. It is the turning point. The galaxy has seen what humans can do when they are underestimated, and now they will remember. The broadcast continued to travel, silent yet powerful, reaching more systems with every passing hour. Messages of warning, proof of preparation, and evidence of hidden strength spread across light years, leaving a single thought in the minds of alien civilizations. Humans were not weak. Humans were clever, adaptable, and a force to be respected. And Earth was ready to show the galaxy just how far that force could reach. The alien fleets hovered at the edge of the solar system, tense and uncertain. Weeks had passed since the first encounter. Every probe, every maneuver, every attempt to measure humanity had failed. Alien commanders, once confident, were now shaken. They had underestimated Earth. They had underestimated humans. Talrek, the Kravian commander, stared at the holographic display of the solar system. Hidden fleets, cloaked stations, and automated defense systems glimmered faintly, revealing only a fraction of humanity's preparation. The more he understood, the more he realized the truth. Earth was no ordinary world. Humans were no ordinary species. They are prepared beyond imagination. Talrek said quietly to his officers, "We cannot risk a full assault. Every action we take is anticipated. Every strategy we try has been studied. Retreat may be the only safe option, for now." Back on Earth in the Arctic facility, General Vance and Alara watched the alien fleet's hesitation. The humans had already demonstrated strength and cleverness, but this was their moment to send a message the galaxy would never forget. Alara turned to the control panel. "It is time. The final broadcast must go now. The galaxy must know our full message, not just our power, but our intent. We are not here to conquer, but to warn, to demonstrate, and to demand respect." Vance nodded. "Do it. Let them hear the truth." The facility hummed as the broadcast system activated. Energy surged through the massive transmitter, sending a message across thousands of light years. It was more than words. Embedded within were symbols, schematics, and energy signatures that proved humanity's capabilities. Every alien civilization receiving it would see that Earth was prepared for defense, strategy, and survival on a scale that was unimaginable. Alara's voice, calm and steady, echoed across the galaxy. "You've doomed yourselves if you think we are weak. For centuries you have underestimated us. You have dismissed our intelligence, our creativity, and our courage. But humanity endures. We survive, we adapt, and we prepare. Today we show you our resolve, our foresight, and our unity." The broadcast continued, detailing humanity's hidden fleets, cloaked stations, and automated defense systems. It revealed decades of planning and preparation, not as a threat, but as proof that humans were capable of defending themselves, and more. The message emphasized that while humans sought peace, any attack against Earth would be met with calculated precision and unyielding force. Across the galaxy, alien civilizations received the broadcast. Panic, fear, and respect rippled through councils, fleets, and research centers. Species that had once dismissed humans as weak now realized the truth. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and capable of surviving and thriving in ways that no one had expected. Talrek studied the broadcast, his claws gripping the console. "They are not threatening blindly," he said. "They are warning. They are showing restraint. But make no mistake, they can defend themselves. Any misstep could be disastrous for us." The Kravian fleet slowly began to retreat, not out of defeat but out of cautious respect. Other fleets followed, realizing that Earth was no longer a world to ignore. Every species had received the same message. Humans were not to be underestimated. Back on Earth, Alara and Vance watched the signals of retreating fleets. The Arctic facility was quiet, yet a sense of accomplishment filled the air. Humanity had not fired a shot, yet they had changed the perception of their species across the galaxy. Vance turned to the team. "This is more than a victory," he said. "This is recognition. They understand now that humans are capable, prepared, and intelligent. The galaxy will think twice before underestimating us again. Ilara nodded. It is a beginning, not an end. We have shown strength. We have shown foresight. But now we must continue to prepare, continue to innovate, and continue to demonstrate that humans belong among the stars. The final part of the broadcast was simple, yet powerful. We do not seek conflict. We do not seek to conquer. We seek only respect, understanding, and coexistence. But know this, the galaxy has misjudged us for too long. Humanity survives. Humanity endures. And humanity will never be underestimated again. Across light years of space, the words resonated. Alien civilizations debated and discussed, not out of fear alone, but out of awe. For the first time, a small, fragile-looking planet had demanded respect, not through destruction, but through intelligence, preparation, and courage. In the council chambers of the Galactic Council, delegates murmured in astonishment. Many realized the errors of centuries, underestimating a species based on appearances, dismissing them as weak and failing to recognize the value of adaptability, creativity, and unity. On distant planets, scholars studied the broadcast carefully. Engineers, strategists, and scientists marveled at the subtlety of human planning. Humans had sent a message that combined warning, evidence, and intelligence in a single package, and they had done so without aggression. Talrek returned to his flagship, reflecting on the encounter. "We have learned a lesson today," he said. "Humans are not weak. Humans are not simple. They are clever, adaptable, and patient. Any fleet that underestimates them risks disaster. We must remember this." Back on Earth, Ilara and Vance stood together looking at the monitors. Every alien signal indicated retreat, analysis, or cautious curiosity. Humans had proven themselves without a single destructive act. Ilara sighed with relief. "We did it," she said softly. "The galaxy sees us now. They know the cost of underestimating humanity." Vance smiled faintly. "And we have done it without unnecessary destruction. That is our greatest strength. Not just intelligence, but restraint, patience, and courage." Outside the Arctic facility, the night sky was clear. Stars twinkled across the horizon, and the solar system seemed peaceful once more. Yet the galaxy beyond was forever changed. Alien civilizations that had once laughed at Earth now regarded it with respect. Humans were no longer dismissed as primitive or weak. They were a species to be acknowledged, studied, and if necessary, feared. Not for aggression, but for ingenuity. Ilara looked at Earth, visible through the facility's observation window. "We have survived countless challenges before," she said. "And now we have faced the galaxy itself. Humanity endures, and the galaxy has seen it." Vance placed a hand on her shoulder. "Remember this moment," he said. "The galaxy will remember it too. And this is only the beginning. Humanity has shown its strength, and we will continue to grow, explore, and thrive." The final words of the broadcast continued to spread, reaching even the most distant systems. "The galaxy has watched us. It has doubted us. It has underestimated us. Today, humanity has shown that survival is only the beginning. Intelligence, creativity, and courage are our weapons. The universe will learn this lesson. Humans endure. Humans prevail. And humans will never be underestimated again." Across the stars, silence followed the message. Alien fleets paused, scholars studied, and leaders debated. For the first time, a small, fragile-looking world had claimed its place among the stars, not by force alone, but through intelligence, preparation, and unshakable resolve. On Earth, life went on. Cities thrived, people worked, and the planet continued its quiet rhythm. But beneath the surface, humanity had changed. They were no longer simply a planet of creatures struggling to survive. They were a species recognized by the galaxy itself, respected for their courage, strategy, and foresight. Ilara watched the stars, feeling both pride and responsibility. Humanity had sent a warning, a demonstration, and a message that the galaxy would not forget. But this was only the first step in their journey among the stars. General Vance spoke softly, almost to himself. "The galaxy has learned our strength, and the story of humanity has only begun." As the final signals of the broadcast faded into the distance, Earth stood quietly under the night sky, small, fragile, yet powerful beyond understanding. A species that had endured countless challenges had now faced the galaxy itself, and had emerged not through brute force, but through intelligence, courage, and unyielding spirit. The galaxy had heard the message. The galaxy had learned the truth. Humans were not weak. Humans were not helpless. Humans were clever, resourceful, and prepared, and humanity's place among the stars had begun.